Hello, I received some questions regarding the Office 365 bypass that we wrote about in our blog recently, and I wanted to kind of clarify a couple things and in which the way that I tested it and also how the results that I got came about. So just to demonstrate real quick, I created a new test user that does not have two-factor enabled. So let's go ahead and log into EWS with that just to show that two-factor, obviously, you can log in if you have a password to EWS if the two-factor authentication is not enabled. In the browser here, I was logged in as a different user. Let me log out of the browser real quick and log in with our test user to just doubly demonstrate that two-factor authentication is not enabled for this user currently. And the reason I want to kind of demonstrate this is because previously, whenever I did the test, the results I got were that I enabled two-factor authentication on the user and was able to still connect via EWS. Now, when I try that, I am getting the same results that a lot of people are getting, where I'm getting like a 401 error, basically saying it's either you require an app password to get in or you don't. So let's log in as our test user. So test user's logged in. No two-factor enabled currently, right? So let's go ahead and log out as this user, and we will now sign in as our admin, our portal admin. I'm gonna have to sign back in here in just a second. Here we go. All right, so logging in as our JLock user. JLock is considered our Office or Outlook admin for this O365 instance. So for this particular user, I have two-factor set up, so I'm going to get a text, and I'm going to have to log in with that particular verification code. And so like when I initially did this is the user I tested it on. Initially, I was able to bypass this protection by connecting in via EWS, but now it appears that I'm getting 401 errors. So I was very confused by that. So in testing this again, I had a theory that maybe setting up a brand new user and basically just adding MFA to their account was maybe the problem, was that it took maybe a certain amount of time for it to actually take effect. So let's go ahead and add two-factor or multi-factor to our test user now. So our test user 2, you can see currently is disabled for multi-factor auth status. Let's go ahead and enable that for this user. Enable multi-factor auth. And this is going into the admin portal of Office 365, enabling multi-factor auth. And now let's sign out as our admin user, and we're going to sign in as the test user. And once we sign in now, it's going to prompt us and tell us that we need to set up our second factor, which you'll see here in just a second. I'll set up as a phone. But basically, what I think the problem is that whenever I initially set this up, I set it up and then tested EWS immediately after. Which, like I said, I'm not sure if it takes a period of time for it to take, but I'm going to set up a phone as my second medium of my second factor verification for this particular portal. And I'll have it send me a text. So contact me. And at this point, it's sending me a text. And I will now enter that code that I received here in the verification code. So code has been entered. Let's verify. Okay. Now, so you see there is an app password there, but what I'm actually using, and I'll show you here in a second, is actually just the password. So there was some confusion behind that. I was actually using the actual password, not the app password. Now you can see I'm logged in with two-factor on this user. Let's go ahead and log out, sign out of the browser, close it out again. I'm going to completely close out of the browser here, and then I'm going to restart the browser just to doubly verify that it's a brand new session. So back to outlook.office365.com, and now let's sign in with our test user 2 again. Log in with our initial password. And then it's texting me for my second factor verification. So multi-factor is set up for this user at this point for OA or for Outlook on Office 365. So I'm getting the text message, entering the verification code, signing in. So now it would appear, or one would think, that since two-factor or multi-factor is enabled for this account, that I should not be able to connect in via EWS with just a password. But let me go ahead and sign out of the browser, close the browser out, come back over here to our command shell. I'm gonna connect in again with EWS for our test user 2. Enter just the email address and the password. And again, this is not an app password I'm entering. I'm entering the actual password for the user. Click OK, and you can see it connected in and was able to get the single email that was in the inbox of that user. Just to validate that was not some sort of session that was being held in the command terminal, I'll open up the command prompt again and try it again. And just for the sake of testing, I mean, I'm not certain how long of a period this is actually taking, but like I said, I tested this on the user that I initially tested it on now, and it does not work. So it does appear that Office 365 is applying that protection at some point after you enable multi-factor on the user. But it does appear that immediately after you create a brand new user and add multi-factor, there is still some sort of time period there where you can access via Exchange Web Services. So connect in again, type in our email address and password. Again, I hope this helps kind of clarify where I got my results from. Seeing that you can now obviously access EWS still. Hope that helps. Thanks. Bye.